What's up, guys? So today, aggression talk number, I think this is 5. It's going to be a little shorter than usual because I usually just set my phone up and then I get to talking, but I really want to drive this point home and make sure I don't get off track. When you are developing habits and implementing habits to change your life for the better or to put you on a path to reach a goal, to become successful in a certain area, it takes discipline at first to build these habits. But if you can't put them into practice as second nature, which is what a habit is, it's something that you just do unconsciously almost, then it's going to take you a lot longer and you probably won't get to where you want to go. Because even fucking David Goggins does not have enough discipline to every single solitary day for years and years and years and years to come, use that discipline to make himself do things. Here's what I mean, so that doesn't get taken out of context. I'm not saying that David Goggins is not disciplined enough, and I'm not saying that if someone tries to implement habits and they don't, become second nature, they're not disciplined enough. That's not what I'm saying. But you use discipline to form habits. But once they become habits, you'll have those days where you still have to use willpower, but it's not going to be forcing yourself to do something you hate every single day. Because once it becomes a habit, it's not something that you hate anymore. It is a part of you. And discipline, in simplest terms, is making yourself do hard things that you really, really don't want to do. Now, waking up early, going to the gym, all those things are very hard and you don't want to do them at first. When you start forcing yourself to sit down and do the boring work on your business that you don't want to do, doing client programming, making outreach if you're in some type of agency and you are, sending out proposals to possible clients, things like that you don't want to do. It takes discipline at first when you are getting into it, but eventually when it becomes habit, you almost get a little bit of joy from it because you enjoy doing it now, and that doesn't take discipline anymore. It becomes habit. So to get to that point, you have to create a new identity. When I stopped doing drugs, being a degenerate, being broke, I had to set a new identity. I had to go away from the old stupid high schooler that I was and set my sights on who I wanted to become. And I had to say, what would this man do? What would this version of me do? And that's when my habits became a part of my routine. I was like, he would not smoke weed 7 times a day. He would not go out and drink and spend money that he didn't have every weekend. He wouldn't go around sleeping with random hoes and giving out all of his energy every single weekend. I had to become the man and drop the old habits that I was doing to become the new person that I wanted to be. He would probably read for an hour a day. He would obsess over learning about business, obsess over learning about his body, the human body, how it works. He would study successful people that have walked the path that he wants to travel before him, and he would implement those tactics and those systems. And that is what I've done. I've created a new identity and becoming the person that I want to become. And that is how you actually get those habits to stick and to fuse themselves together with your life. And that is how you become a new person. So if you want to drop the vices, if you want to stop being a little pussy and watching porn and doing all these things, you can't stay mentally or physically the same person. You have to become the new person that you admire. You have to imagine in your head who the highest version of you would be. Or fuck it, if you want to make a role model out of someone at first, if you can't even form an identity, if you're so far down the beaten path that you can't even form an identity, or you can't form a version of yourself that is, that motivates you, then pick a role model. Pick someone that you're like, man, I want to be like that guy. That guy is fucking rare. That guy is ripped. That guy makes money. He's compassionate. He's not egotistical, but he's confident in his abilities. If you want to become a man like that, or find a man like that you can model yourself after, do that. But until you create a new identity and your habits align with that identity, it's gonna you're gonna constantly be consistent for a week, and then you're gonna drop it, and then you're gonna be consistent for a week, and then you're gonna drop it, and then 2 weeks, and then you're gonna drop it until you change your mindset to become that new person. It's never going to work. It's like why you can go to rehab and be in an environment around a bunch of people that are clean, but if you go, chances are, if you go back and you go right into those old habits, right into those old routines, right into those old friends, you're gonna jump right back into your addiction. And that's not just with drugs, that is with anything. You have to completely change. You may have to drop your fucking best friend. You may have to leave your friend group, and that is fine, because why would you want to be around people who are not gonna be with you through the journey, who are not gonna be alongside you through the process of becoming the highest version of yourself? You're just wasting time on this earth. And that's what I've had to do. You might have to cut off a part of you and deal with that pain to become, you will have to make sacrifices to become who you want to become. You either sacrifice for what you want, what you desire, or what you desire becomes what is sacrificed. And if you're not willing to make those sacrifices, if you're not willing to change and create a new identity and a new version of yourself and chase that version of yourself every single day and hold yourself accountable through the veteran frame of mind, and I'll get on that in a second, what the veteran frame of mind is, then you're not going to get there. What's helped me is, Alex Hormozy talks about this a little bit, but I found myself doing this way before I even heard about it. But I would think of, this version that I've envisioned of myself in the future, having an amazing physique, having, a beautiful family, having a loving wife, and I'm my kids look up to me, and I'm just this figure that it's, obviously I'm human, I'm not going to be perfect, but I want to be respected. I want to hold myself in a certain way. I want to work hard. I want to give 110% in every single thing that I do. I want to be wealthy. I want to give 90% of my wealth away to help people. I want to serve others. I want to be the leader that serves others and puts himself last, even though he's a leader. That's what I want to be. So to become that person, I have to switch my identity from a egotistical 19-year-old that thinks he knows it all to a humble 19-year-old who's thinking on the mindset of a 35-year-old, and I know that I know absolutely nothing, no matter how much I accomplish in the grand scheme of things. So envision yourself, the version of you that was made to walk this earth, the highest version of you, and chase that new identity every day. And the small wins will reinforce that identity. When you wake up early, that's a win. That is a vote towards that new version of you that your brain subconsciously says, maybe I am that guy. You wake up early, you don't click snooze, maybe I am that guy. You instantly get to work, maybe I am that guy. You work undistracted for 4 hours, maybe I am that guy. You give to others instead of only benefiting yourself, oh, maybe I am that guy. And even if you still revert to your old habits, as long as you are chasing that identity constantly and you always revert back to that path of chasing greatness, your mind will eventually subconsciously, it's called auto-suggestion, it will stick to that path, and you will literally become that person. It will be unreasonable. It will be guaranteed that you will become that person if constantly you stay consistent and you chase that identity and you implement those habits and you stick to your systems no matter what. Eventually, you will reach that goal. You will become that person. You will make $1 million. You will have the best physique. You will win that show. Whatever you have your sights set on, and I'm just saying random goals that I've had, that it will come into fruition and it will start to play itself out in front of you because you've done the work. You have become the person by making yourself have that new identity, and you have put in the habits, and you are no longer having to rely on sheer discipline and willpower to get you there. You revert to your habits and your systems that you have built in place that you know will get you there, and you will reach your goals. You will reach your goals. It's stop waiting. Stop waiting. I don't care. You're not going to have a perfect plan. You're not going to feel amazing. Just do it every single day. Get better. And I don't care how many steps backwards you take 5 more steps forward the next day. I don't care how bad it feels. I don't care your circumstances, where you live, what color you are, where you were born. Every single day, you owe it to yourself to become that person. You owe it to yourself. And you will become successful in whatever area you put your mind to if you stick to it, you stay consistent, and you create a new identity with your habits. Go kill it.